Hey guys, power's on the top of the table.
We're actually going, just leave it on.
Hello, everyone. I just want to thank you for being here. We have to make a quick correction to the audio, to the AV equipment for the stenographer in order for the record to be complete when we start the conditional use hearing. So I do apologize for the delay. I just wanted to let you know why we are in a delay at the moment.
It's on. Test, test.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting of the Limerick Township Board of Supervisor to order. If we can stand for the pledge. This meeting is being recorded and live streamed through the Limerick Township YouTube page, youtube.com/@Limerick Township 1726. We had an executive session prior to the meeting on legal matters. Be sure to follow along with Limerick Township. Go to our website and click the Notify Me, and go to the website for further instructions. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube page. Just a reminder, as of April 1st, written public comments, questions of any kind received by the board or the staff will not be read into the public record during any of our public meetings. Your comments and letters are still being received by staff and the board. For more information on Park and Rec, be sure to visit their website at limerickpa.org/155/Parks and Recreation. We do have a bus trip coming up on April 16th at 9 a.m. We have a coffee talk for seniors Wednesday, April 22nd, 9 to 10 a.m. An Atlantic City bus trip June 2nd, 9 a.m., leaving from the Township Building. Moving on to our consideration of the meeting minutes from 4/7/26. Motion to approve the minutes from April 7th, 2026.
So moved.
Motion and a second.
Second.
Do we have any board or public comment? And then we will move to a roll call vote. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Aye.
Aye. We have a bills list, number 8, 4/4/2026 through 4/10/2026, for $715,400.61. A motion to approve the bills list?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any board or public comment? Seeing none, we will move to a roll call vote. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Aye.
Aye. At this time, we're going to move to public comment. We're going to take public comment on general township matters not related to tonight's data center hearing. Comments related to the conditional use application will be taken during the public hearing portion of the agenda where specified. Specific procedures will be followed as a court reporter is here to protect the record. Do we have any public comment at this time? Seeing none. Supervisor comments? All right. I do have one supervisor comment. I want to thank everyone for being here this evening. We recognize that this is a great deal of interest in this application. Our community has strong feelings and many concerns. I also want to remind everyone that we are neighbors, we live here, and we care about the community, and it's important that we treat one another with respect throughout this process. This is a formal hearing, and therefore, we are required to follow some additional procedures. My goal, and I believe the board's goal, is to ensure that everyone is heard in a way that is fair, orderly, and respectful, while still upholding the laws that we took an oath to uphold. And with that, we will move into the conditional use hearing. The conditional use hearing is run by our solicitor, so Rebecca Geiser.
Thank you. As Chair Lawson said, this is a conditional use hearing. The applicant is MCD7 LLC. They're represented by an attorney, Mr. Ed Campbell. This hearing is governed by the Pennsylvania Municipalities Code, the MPC, so you may hear that referred to throughout the hearing. This hearing is very unlikely to conclude tonight, as the applicant has the duty of presenting witnesses. Anybody that then has party status will be able to cross-examine each of those witnesses, and the township's solicitor, Ms. Wendy McKenna, who is seated down with counsel, she will be questioning witnesses as well. And then parties can also call their own witnesses during their case once the applicant has presented theirs. So again, as Ms. Lawson said, this is a long procedure, so we are not going to get to the public comment portion, which ends the hearing tonight. But again, the court stenographer, Paula, is here to capture what all of the testimony is, and at the end, she will capture public comment. We want to make sure that that is part of the record. You'll hear us refer to the record, and that's when public comment will be taken. At the very last hearing, if you are unable to appear in person, you can submit your public comment via a letter or an email, and I will mark and admit that as an exhibit into the case. So you will have the opportunity, even if you are not here physically at the very last meeting, to state your case through written public comment. So again, the applicant is requesting conditional use approval under section 184-163.2 and 184-76.7 in accordance with the standards required in section 184-43 of Limerick Township's zoning ordinance to permit a data center campus consisting of 2 8-story data center buildings totaling just under 2.8 million square feet, 3 associated substations comprising of just under 500,000 square feet of support buildings, and the parcel is 7 parcels comprised of approximately 191 acres. As you've heard, this is conditional use hearing. Again, we have to follow certain rules and procedures under law. This is a very crowded room with a lot of people that most likely have differing opinions. Each person who is a Limerick resident or taxpayer will have the opportunity to be heard during public comment at the very end. This hearing should be treated like a courtroom. As such, distractions can't be tolerated. If Paula, our court reporter, can't hear what's going on, there is no record, and she will have to stop the hearing until there's silence so that she can take the testimony and make sure that what she is typing is accurately reflecting what actually happens here tonight. The school district has been gracious enough to again let us use their room. The township building, quite simply, isn't enough to allow everybody meaningful participation. As such, we have to follow the rules, and that means this must be concluded before 9:30 this evening. So again, we need to follow the rules. We're lucky to be here and have the room for everyone to be in the same room. Finally, the board will invite parties after the case is concluded to submit proposed findings of facts and conclusions of law. I have a number of exhibits that I'm going to enter into the record this evening. T1 is an email to the Pottstown Mercury for publication of the advertisement. That is dated March the 27th of 2026. T2 is proof of publication for March 31st of 2026 and April 7th of 2026 as required by the MPC. T3 are the affidavits of posting dated March 31st of 2026. Again, the township had to physically post the property in various locations. It was posted in 11 locations. 0 Possum Hollow, located across from the Philadelphia Premium Outlets along Lightcap Road. 0 Possum Hollow, posted along Possum Hollow Road across from the intersection of Zara Drive. 0 Possum Hollow, along Sanatoga Road. 0 Possum Hollow, at the intersection of Lightcap and Possum Hollow Road. 0 Sanatoga Road, along Possum Hollow Road next to the intersection of Zara Drive. 0 Sanatoga Road, along Sanatoga Road by the intersection of Sanatoga Road and Possum Hollow. 0 Sanatoga Road, tax parcel ID 37-00-04501-00-7. 0 Sanatoga Road, tax parcel ID 37-00-04518-00-8. 1192 Zara Drive, 308 Evergreen Road, 3145 Sanatoga Road. T4 is the affidavit of letters mailed to adjacent property owners, and that is dated March the 26th of 2026. And again, that is sent per the MPC and Limerick Township Code, which is to properties within 400 feet of the proposed location. T5 is the letter to Planning Commission dated December 30th of 2025. T6 is the application for conditional use, including plans and deed. T7 is the legal notice that was published. T8 is the MPC letter extensions granting from the applicant for their public hearing. They waived the 60 days, and this was through the end of April 2026, dated February 25th of 2026. T9 is the review letter from Pannoni Engineers, dated December 5th of 2025 and last revised December 30th of 2025. T10 is the review letter from TPD, dated December 5th of 2025. And T11 will be a Google Earth map project of the vicinity that we may use as reference for assistance with party status, depending on who is requesting party status. Party status is a legal designation under the MPC that allows certain interested parties to participate in the hearing. Essentially, you would be acting as an attorney if you did not have an attorney to represent you. You could cross-examine the applicant's witnesses. You would be subject to objections from Mr. Campbell, the applicant's attorney, and then you may have the right to file an appeal if desired. But your actions on appeal would need to be in line with the laws covering land use appeals. So even if you are granted party status by this Board of Supervisors, the Court of Common Pleas in Norristown may not recognize party status. So it's just important to understand that distinction. Party status is limited to somebody that has substantial, direct, and immediate interest in the matter, as required to have standing to initiate judicial proceedings. When a party's interest surpasses that of the general public in procuring obedience to the law, the harm alleged was caused by the matter complained of, and the harm is not remote and speculative. That is specific case law in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for what defines party status. You have to be able to explain to this board what sets you apart from other Limerick residents or taxpayers that makes you unique to obtain party status, whether that is your close proximity to the proposed location or whatever you or your attorney articulates to the board. So again, that interest must be more than the general public. It cannot be remote. Typically, in your general conditional use hearing, party status is limited to those who receive notice of the hearing in the mail. In this case, property owners or residents who live within 400 feet of the property. If you are seeking party status, you will be asked to come before the board and be sworn in as a witness. Again, that's only if you're testifying. If your attorney is here on your behalf, they can likely answer any of the questions and you would not need to be sworn. Again, there's a stenographer. She needs to be able to record what happens, and Mr. Campbell will have the opportunity to ask questions, and he could object to somebody obtaining party status. So again, once you're sworn, and this is if you don't have an attorney, please explain to the Board of Supervisors your interest in the matter, your name, your address, how far from the proposed location. You need to explain your interest so that they can determine under the law you should be granted party status. The Board of Supervisors, as you heard tonight when they voted, they will be taking a roll call vote. Again, that is so that each board member has the opportunity to weigh in. So I have received a number of forms for people indicating party status. I would ask if you're represented by an attorney, if you could approach with your attorney to the microphone. I believe we're using the one in the center. It's important the stenographer's able to capture what you're saying. So, thank you. I believe Ms. Otero represents a number of property owners. And again, please speak slowly so that the stenographer can capture what you have to say, and she will stop you if she can't hear or needs a repeat. If you have additional forms, now is the time to submit them. Yes, Glenn will collect them. Glenn, if you could wave, please. Yes, if they are not represented by an attorney, they should fill out their individual form.
So this is Lauren Otero speaking while they get their paperwork in. You want me to just introduce all my clients and
I think that would be
whether-
helpful. Ms. Sotero, are you asking to consolidate as you're representing?
Yes, it's a group of 10 people.
Mr. Campbell, do you have any objection? Ms. Sotero is representing a number of people if she goes through.
Sure. Ms. Sotera provided me with a copy of her letter dated April 14th to the Board of Supervisors, identifying the 10 individuals she represents. And I can represent to the board that there's no objection to Mr. Piasecki at 3323 Saratoga Road, Michelle Piasecki at 3345 Saratoga Road, Jack Klump at 3298 Saratoga Road, Dave Clemens at 3208 Saratoga Road, and John Gerling at 480 Longview Road. So I believe that's 5 of the 10. The other 5, I think, are worthy of some examination, some questions.
Okay. I will start with Jessica
If I could
Schiller.
just, sorry.
Can you see?
And for the record, it would appear that their addresses put them within 400 feet of the property, and I presume that they either got or should have received notices. So for that reason, there's no reason to object.
We are going to take a motion to accept the party status of the 5 individuals that were mentioned. Do we have a motion?
So motioned.
Do we have a second? Do we have a second?
So moved.
And we will start our roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Those 5 have been granted party status.
Right.
So if you want to, Ms. Sotero, go through your additional clients.
Yes, thank you, Board. So I'll begin with Jessica Schiller. She lives at 25 Lozard Road, Pottstown, 19464. She is just outside of the 400-foot notice perimeter. In fact, her house is on the map here. If you are to look at the Pico station and go directly south, that's about where her property
Yeah,
is.
let me interrupt you, but I have a note that I didn't pick up. I agree, she's close enough.
Say that again?
No objection. I agree that
Okay.
Ms. Schiller's close enough.
Thank you.
So we have a motion to grant party status to Jessica Schuler. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And we will start our roll call vote. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Aye, but my mic's dead.
Mr. Maroney is an aye. He's having microphone issues. And myself is an aye as well.
Is it possible for Paula to have a microphone? Do you? Proceed. Thank you.
So established that she qualifies as a party in here. She has a certain health concern as far as any potential air pollution that may come from the site. Her husband is diagnosed with COPD, and she's concerned that the air pollution would aggravate his condition. He needs breathing treatments 3 times a day and then healing. She is also on well water. The well was built about 1990, and she has noticed in the last 8 years more and more sediment gets into her well, and the filters need to be changed out. So she is very concerned about construction causing more sediment in her well, concerned about her well drying up as a result of water usage, and concerned about what if within blowback, the contaminants that may be in the discharge from the plant, and how that would affect her well water. She also has the right to enjoy her property. She lives on about a 3-acre lot, just shy of 3 acres. She loves gardening and has for a long time, and she's concerned with any potential air pollutants falling on her veggie garden. She plans to eat her vegetables. And also any contamination in the water, how that impacts her garden. She and her husband take care of their 2 grandchildren, they're both less than 10 years old. They take care of them 2 times a week. They are regular caretakers. They love to have their children outside playing. They have a pool, and she says if her grandson would never leave the house, he would move there if he could. And that to have the children outside is very important. They also...
Can you stop for 1 second? We're hearing that people may not be able to hear in the audience. Can I have hands if you can hear?
If I speak to the audience...
I think they can hear you.
Oh, it's you.
It's YouTube? Okay.
We'll let the IT people know. Up here, we have very little control of the YouTube. Apologies.
I will send a message to the tech.
How's this? Thank you. I will speak up for everybody. I hear feedback, and I'm afraid it might hurt your ears. Again, though, you just tell me. So Miss Arthur, she takes care of her grandchildren twice a week, 2 minor children, and they love to play outside. She has a pool, and she even said her grandson would move there if he had the choice. So it's very important to her that she and her family, they enjoy the outside. They enjoy seeing all the local flora and fauna, and she's worried that the noise, vibrations would cause the animals to disappear, and all of the subsequent contaminants, whether it's air or water, would also ruin the outdoors for her. Interesting, based on that data centers may be heat islands, she is concerned that the increased heat may exacerbate the tick blooms, the tick population. She's noticed that on her 2 dogs, she's had to provide year-round flea and tick medicine, and she's noticed that tick blooms happen earlier. This has been documented that with increased temperatures, there are more tick blooms. And she's had Lyme's disease a long time ago, but she knows the impacts of getting that. Lastly, she and her family, they have the windows open, they're home all the time. So with the noise, she's afraid she will be shuttered up in her home. So I'll leave it at that.
May I have a few questions?
Yes.
Is she present?
Ed, can you
Yes,
please speak up?
Sure.
We're learning that you can't be heard on YouTube, apparently.
I'd ask to swear the witness in just with a few questions.
Terry?
Hi, Terry Griffin, 714 Road.
Spell your full name for me. Spell your full name.
Terry, T-E-R-R-I, Arthur, A-R-T-H-U-R.
Raise your right hand, please. ma'am.
Thank you very much, Ms. Arthur. Oh,
Do you
sorry.
solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you give is not the truth, the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, thank you.
We're going to take a quick moment here while we adjust some AV issues. While he's doing that, I do want to thank the audience for working through these issues with us. It is really important that the stenographer does capture all the information, and we do want our neighbors on YouTube to also be able to hear effectively. So I know the pause can be frustrating, but I feel like it's very important for us to do that. So thank you.
I'm going to handle a housekeeping matter. Anybody that's granted party status this evening, please, please, please give the township your email address. It is the best way to get a hold of me, and I want to make sure I'm communicating as the township solicitor with all of you so that you're receiving the same information as every other party status person or attorney, including an exhibit. And when it gets to the point where parties are able to present their witnesses and exhibits, I will ask you to email it to me ahead of time. That way I can disseminate it to everybody else, and it avoids a little bit of a hassle, and hopefully will make the future hearings run smoother. Thank you.
One, two.
As our AV specialist, are you comfortable with us beginning? All right, we're still going to hold 1 second. He's getting his steps in today.
This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4. Test 1, 2. Brandon, test 1, 2, 1, 2.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your cooperation and help, and we will proceed.
If I may. Thank you, Ms. Arthur. So I understand your attorney, first of all, you heard your attorney's summary of your basis for standing,
I did.
and do you agree with everything that she said?
I do.
So as I understand it, she testified that you live about 0.8 of a mile from the site, correct?
Correct.
And I looked it up on Google Earth. I agree, it's about a little more than 4,000 feet. You live about 2,000 feet from the nuclear power plant, right?
Correct.
So this site would be, this development, this data center development is more than twice as far away as the nuclear power plant, correct?
Yes, I guess.
And there is also a power substation down here on Longview Road, which is about 1,000 feet away from your home, correct?
There is a power substation there. I don't know how far it is from my home.
It's on Longview Road, correct?
Correct.
And Keene is right off of Longview Road, correct?
Yep, right there's my house.
So I'm looking at Google Earth and I'm doing the measurements. It appears to be about 1,000 to 1,400 feet, depending on how you measure it. You have any reason to disagree with that?
No.
Okay. So as I understand your concern, your first concern...
Ms. Arthur, can you just speak up, please?
Yes.
The board can't hear you very well.
Sure. You have a concern about how my client's project would affect your water usage, correct?
Correct.
So if I were to tell you that my client is not drawing any water other than from public water systems, does that change your opinion as to concern you have about water?
It does not.
Well, what effect would my client's use of the public water system have on your water? Are you on well or public water?
I'm on well.
All right. So you're on a well. My client's going to be on the public water system. My client will have no impact on the public water system.
Not necessarily.
Okay. What impact do you think or you're concerned about that my client might have on your well?
You know what? On this, I need to object, because that kind of information goes to an expert. Now, she has her concerns, of which she stated her legitimate concerns about impact she's noticed on her well and how it can continue, particularly during construction, and then further on the water consumption.
So I object to the objection. I mean, the reality is this witness this individual wants to have party status, and I respect that. But she has to articulate the reasons why she's entitled to that. And if her first reason is that my client's development is going to affect a well, I think it's not an unreasonable question to ask her why she thinks that.
Ms. Otero, your objection's been noted and overruled. Please proceed, Mr. Campbell.
May I just say something real quick? Her first objection had to do with health reasons and the impact of that on her family, but continue.
I agree with that statement.
Right. But you can't articulate any reason why you would think my client's development would affect your well, correct?
The construction and the moving of all the earth over there does give me great concern with my well. It does.
Would that be any different for any development on the site?
Probably.
Probably it would be different or would not be different?
Ask your question again so I can understand it, please.
But your concern is construction activity on the site might affect your well.
Construction for the type of data center in which you're building is totally different than what I have seen of regular construction and what is being proposed.
Site's
So, yes.
previously approved for 1 million plus square feet of warehouse. How would the construction of that warehouse be different than a data center? If you know.
So this is a detail of which we need to find out more about, and that burden of what this construction entails, and the amount of it falls on you, on your client. So she cannot answer those kind of details, but she does have concern that provide her a standing on this.
Well, so your position is that she can say whatever she wants without a backup?
Again, please, the stenographer can't record what Mr. Campbell's saying when you're clapping. Thank you.
Just so that I understand, your position is that your clients can come and articulate reasons without any basis, but merely because they articulate those bases, they're entitled to standing. Is that the argument?
That is not the argument at all. It's just following the law, the MPCs that a party may enter if they are affected by this proposed site. And I have articulated several reasons here to include health and water consumption and enjoyment of property. So just if you are to put holes into the one topic, it does not eliminate the others.
I'm not saying it does. Are you withdrawing that basis? Then I'll move on.
I can't, what was your question again?
If you're withdrawing the claim that my client's development would affect your client's well, I'll move on to the next subject.
I
But,
think that's something that needs to be determined based on the information your party presents.
okay, but at this point, you have no information, your client has no information that my client would adversely affect the well, as we are here tonight, correct?
Which she does not have to provide, but
Okay.
correct.
All right. Note my objection to the application. We can move on to the next one.
Your objection's been noted.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Terry Author?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And we will start with our roll call vote. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Aye.
Aye.
Ms. Arthur's been granted party status.
Thank you.
I understand, please, just for the stenographer's sake and for the cooperation of the procedure, we are going to try to keep all of that to the end of the evening. So, thank you.
Thank you, Board. I'll go with the next client. I will say the remaining clients, they have similar bases that they want to put forth for their standing. I will next go to Ms. Christine Jimbowski. She lives about 1.18 miles southwest of the proposed site. Her first basis is on health. As far as the potential air pollutants that may come from this station, her husband and 13... Yes.
If the witness is here or the participant is here, they should testify and give their reasons rather than have someone read off a script.
They have counsel to speak on their behalf.
Well,
So-
respectfully, if they're here, they should be asked questions under oath to establish their, rather than you reciting from wherever you pull all this stuff down.
From them.
Mr.
But I
Campbell,
speak on their behalf. That's what we do.
please let her respond.
All right. Now, I don't want this...
If your client has...
I understand, but if we need to continue because there is a whole lot more people we need to get through. I'm here on behalf of my clients. They have retained me, and that's all that's needed. So continuing forward, she has a husband and a 13-year-old son with respiratory illnesses. Her son has asthma, and he requires regular maintenance and treatment for that asthma. Ms. Jimbowski herself, she suffers from, it's called polycystic kidney and liver disease. It's hereditary progressive disease. She is on a daily medication regimen that requires her to consume about 200 ounces of water a day. This leads to her concern about the water and the impact of the blowout and the discharge from the contaminants therein, how it would impact her public water. She's not on a well, she relies on public water. The next area is her enjoyment of property. She moved to to Limerick from Montclair. Her children have always been in the Springford School District, and she wants to keep them here. She loves the school district. But she is concerned that noise and vibrations that emanate from the plant or from the data center site, that this would impede her and her family's enjoyment of the outdoors. She loves her neighborhood because there's no throughway, so the children can be on the street. They can play safely without cars going through. They're outside, they're enjoying themselves. She also is one who enjoys having the windows open in her home, and she feels that if there's all this noise coming from the site 24/7, this would again cloister her in her house. So Ms. Jimbowski is here to be sworn in.
Well, maybe we can cut it short. Is she going to offer anything more particular than your last client in terms of supporting her application?
The last point, which
Your,
one?
your prior client wasn't able to articulate anything in particular on the record to demonstrate her particular basis for her party status. If all your client's going to do is say everything she said is correct, and no more questions.
So that comes down to the board, and my last client, the board approved for standing.
I understand.
So I don't understand where this question is going other than stalling this proceeding. May we move forward?
Sure, call your witness.
Christine Jimbowski, Chrisistine, D as in dog, E as in zebra, Iembowski.
Forgive me, how do I pronounce your last name? Dymzowski?
Jimbowski.
Jimzowski. Your attorney represented that you live about 1.8 miles away from the site?
I think it's actually a little closer. I think it's actually closer to maybe 1.1 miles as the crow flies on Google Maps when I dropped a pin at my house and then went to the end of the
Can you please speak up? I'm sorry. Thank you.
When I personally searched it from my home to the edge of the property, it actually was closer to barely, depending on the edge of the property line of where the proposed site is going to be, I had it at 0.9 to 1.1 miles. She may have been generous in going farther into the property.
A mile from the site, is that fair?
Sure, a mile, that's fair.
Can you see the property from your home?
Well, it's not built yet, so I don't know.
Fair enough. Do you own or lease the property?
Do I own my property?
Yes.
Yes.
The concerns that your attorney articulated, what personal knowledge do you have to support those concerns?
Can you ask the question in a clearer way?
Sure. You're objecting to a data center?
Excuse me?
You're objecting to the development of a data center?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what about the development of a data center has a personal or particular effect on you? And how do you know that?
To expand on what my lawyer shared with you, water is a really big concern. I do not have a well. I am on public water. Data centers are known to use lots and lots and lots of water, and that water will go back into the public drinking water system, and I'm concerned of all the chemicals that are used to treat that water so that it may be used many times. And that water will go to treatment plants, and I know you will say that they will be treated, but I don't know that our water treatment facilities are prepared enough to deal with the amount of water that would be treated with all of these forever chemicals to ensure that we will not find out that there is unhealthy levels of forever chemicals and other types of metals and things in it until much later when we start to see the health impact come up with cluster cases of issues.
Is that concern any different than, is that concern any different than anyone else in the community would have?
For me personally, I have polycystic kidney disease and I am on a specific medication to slow down my path to having kidney failure and liver failure requiring a transplant. Part of taking this medication is I have to drink 150 to 200 ounces of water per day, and it's really my job and my path of care for my health care to do everything I can to preserve and maintain my kidney function. Having my main water source in my home tainted with chemicals and things that would impact my kidney function would not be good.
Okay. Thank you. Note my objection to the application.
All right, do I have a motion to grant party status?
I have a question first. I didn't catch her address.
Ms. Jimbowski lives at 60 Grist Mill Lane, Royersford.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Christine Jambowski.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And then we will start our roll call. Ms. Schuler,
Aye.
Ms. Irwin,
Aye.
Dr. Walraven,
Aye.
Mr. Maroney.
Yes.
Mr. Maroney was a yes, though I don't think his mic caught that. And myself, I'm a yes as well.
Rebecca, I don't object if the board, when they're making their motions, does an all in favor, and if it's not all in favor, then do a roll call. I'll defer to you, but there's no objection on my part if these applications are all in favor motions.
Thank you.
That's a little more efficient.
Okay, thank you. Am I hearing you correctly?
yes.
You would like us to continue the roll call? Okay, we will.
Roll call will continue. Thank you, Paula.
Sorry.
Please proceed, Ms. Sotera.
Thank you. And thank you again. For next is Mr. Jason Beechner. He lives at 33 Homestead Lane, Royersford. He's about 1.25 miles southwest of the site. Mr. Beechner has lived in his home since 2020. As far as his health concerns, he has a 9-year-old daughter with asthma. She's had that since she was about 5 years old. She needs an inhaler. Mr. Beechner, he's also has suffered in the past from a condition called spontaneous pneumothorax. This is where the body, you can have sudden lung collapse. So he had corrective surgery. However, he does not want to overstrain his lungs. So he does not do any sort of strenuous exercise. And so with the potential air contaminants that could come from this site, there are 2 members of his household that have respiratory issues. Mr. Beechner is also on public water, and he is again concerned about how the water, how much of it will be used and consumed by this facility. He's concerned about the waste and the blowback, what is in it and how it can come back into his water. He's also concerned about the just the infrastructure costs that would be ultimately him and any sort of aqua customer to pay to maintain the blowback. He also noted that in his utilities, his electric bill is about $100 more on average this year than it was last. As for the enjoyment of his property, he loves to be outside. Again, he's worried that the noise that could come from this site would force him to go inside. He loves having the windows open in his house, and he, from where he lives, he can already hear the Limerick Power Station hum, and he can hear it fluctuate. But he's concerned that this proposed data center will be constant, so he'll have no break from the noise. So Mr. Beechner is here.
Jason, J-S-O-N, Beechner, B-E-E-C-H-N-E-R. I do.
Mr. Beechner, you own your property?
I do.
It's a little more than a mile from the site?
It's about 0.8 miles the way the crow flies, according to what I saw on Google, from the edge of the property.
So you're
Less than a mile.
Okay. I will tell you that Google Earth looks like it's about 1.25 miles, but it's about a mile. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Can you see the property from your?
I can't see the property, per se, but who's to say I will not be able to see the data center?
Okay. I have no further questions. Note my objection. I don't think the applicant has identified any circumstance which is unique to him that aren't generalized concerns throughout the community. That's my objection.
Your objection's noted.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Mr. Jason Beechner?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And I'll start with our roll call vote. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
Aye.
Thank you.
do have a final client, however, she is not here. She had a planned vacation that predated the scheduling of this hearing. I can present her, speak on her behalf. Obviously, she's not here to come and testify. I don't know if the board would maybe want to take her if this carries over to another hearing date. I leave that to your discretion. She would certainly be here by then.
I have no objection to deferring, taking action on that until the next hearing.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll defer, and she will have the opportunity based on the unique circumstances. And Ms. Otero did reach out to me, as did her client at several meetings ago, to advise, so.
Yeah, so thank you very much for everybody, your time.
And those are your clients?
That is all of them, so
Okay,
I may conclude there.
Thank you. I see Mr. Cesny from the school district, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lauren Chesney. I am, let me raise that a little bit.
For the record,
I think help is on the way.
For the record, there's no objection to the school district's participation. You want to go ahead, George?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, do I have a motion to grant party status to Springford Area School District?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We will start our roll call vote. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Her mic is dead, so that was an aye. Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
Aye.
School district is a party. I received notification from Obermeyer, I believe Mr. Wild, or perhaps Ms. Raffaelli.
Good evening. My name is Giovanna Raffaelli.
Can you speak a little closer to the microphone? Thank you.
My name is Gia Raffaelli. I'm general counsel for MCD2 and MCD9. MCD2 is approximately 42 acres located at 168 Evergreen Road. It's adjacent to the proposed project. MCD9 is approximately 8.5 acres or so. It's also adjacent to the project at the other bottom of the data center project.
No objection to the adjacent property owners having party status.
Ma'am, I did not catch your name.
Gia, last name is Raffaelli.
Okay. Do I have a motion to grant party status to Gia Raffaelli?
Well,
It would be for MC.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me reword that. I apologize.
No problem.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to MCD2 LLC and MCD9 LLC?
So
I have a
moved.
question. It's just identified as a name. What's there?
What is there?
What is at
Yeah.
the property?
So MCD2 is approximately 42 acres. It has a pending mixed-use residential and commercial land development plan pending before the township. It was filed in October of '23. There's proposed 399 apartments, which are closest to the data center building, I think 3 and 5. And then MCD9 is currently vacant, but we propose to develop it in the future.
That's in Lower Potts Grove.
No, it's in Limerick.
Oh, it is in
County.
Limerick?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Do I have a motion to grant party status to MCD2 and LLC and MCD9 LLC?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And we will start our roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Aye. For Ms. Schuler. Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
And I'm an aye.
Thank you.
And if there is an available mic backup for Ms. Schuler?
No, it just decides to work when it wants to.
Oh, okay, never mind, we're finicky. We will work through this. Sorry about that, Kara.
Are there any attorneys, other attorneys representing clients before I move on to property owners who intend to represent themselves? And again, if you are an organization or an LLC, you need to have an attorney. Otherwise, to represent yourself is the unauthorized practice of law. I'm seeing none. I'd ask pro se people to start lining up, and I will go through the list. There's about 25, I believe.
For our court reporter, do you want the microphone out more? Yes, all right, can we move that out for her?
Yes, pro se, you don't have an attorney.
Kim Shank, K-I-M, Shank, S-H-A-N-K.
And ma'am, did you submit a form? Again, I apologize, there's
Yes, I
25, so I will go through as quick as I
No,
can,
that's
but
fine.
if you want to.
Yes, I did.
If I can interject just for a moment, Rebecca. I don't know if I heard you when you summarized, and I think you did a very good job, but you don't need to have party status to make public comment or to express.
I've said that multiple times, and
Sorry
I've
if I
said that
missed that.
before every conditional use, and I think that half of this room has probably been there for a couple of them. But again, you will have the opportunity, if you're a Limerick taxpayer or resident, regardless of whether you have party status, to speak at the very end of hearings. So again, that is party status, and please, Ms. Shank, go ahead.
Okay. I live at 37 King Way, Boyersford. I'm in a large townhouse, single home.
And I know, if I could just slow you down for ease, I know a lot of you that live in Limerick actually have Royersford zip codes, but if you could say, I live in Limerick Township, or whatever your municipality is, it's helpful to the board and for the record.
Okay.
Thank you.
I live in Waterford Green Townhouse, carriage home, single home development. It's a very large development. I am at 37 King Way, Limerick. I asked for party status. For one, I just, in January 23rd, had my lung removed for cancer, and I am very concerned, as all of what was stated earlier. I don't think we need to go through that again. And I'm concerned about the electric, the increase in electric. I'm concerned about the noise. I'm concerned about the lack of jobs that our people are going to have. I was recently down in Vineland, and all the people working there couldn't even speak English. I couldn't talk to anybody. So they're not our people that are going to be working. They're other people during the construction phase. And that's not helping our community at all. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here, along with many, the hum and everything else. But I think you understand our opposition and why we're all here.
I do understand your opposition. I look on Google Earth, and it looks like you live about almost 10,000 feet away from the site?
I think it's 2 miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've expressed concerns, understandably, about noise, electric, jobs, the fact that the people who will be building it might not speak English. Those concerns, are they any different than the general public has? I mean, you've said that you understand why you're all here. Those are the same kind of concerns that everybody has.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, my biggest concern is I found out I had cancer and didn't know I had it. I cannot risk having all these chemicals come into my home or in my air. I can't risk that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not that old. I'm only 67, 68.
You're lying. You don't look that old.
I am. And, you know, having a scare in January was very upsetting. And, I mean, look at my arms. I have to walk around with these marks all over my body because of the medication I have to take. I can't risk all this chemicals and unknown. And I think that's a big concern. Too many people are building data centers so fast, they're not taking into consideration the safety factors. Okay. And that's a big concern. Thank you.
Okay. Note my objection. Thank you.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Ms. Shank?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We will start our roll call. Oh,
Dr. Walraven.
and we will move on with our roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
Mr. Maroney was a yes.
Yes.
And aye for myself.
You mean aye?
Thank you.
My name is Kristen. It's Kristin. Last name Ploshay, Ploshay. And I live at 280 Evergreen Road in Limerick.
And again, I would ask that, and I apologize if we missed swearing the last one, but if we could swear in. Thank you.
No objection to Ms. Ploshay. I understand Evergreen to be essentially adjacent to the property.
Okay, we are going to swear in the two, and then we'll go on our motion with Ms. Ploshay. Is that what you would like to do, Paula? Okay,
Thank you. I apologize, Paula.
okay, so stay put. Good. Thank you. And then we're going to swear in Ms. Ploshay?
Kristen Ploshay. I do.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Ms. Ploshay?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We'll start our roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
Aye. Thank you. You may begin.
Okay, Janelle Ploshay. Janel. Ploshay. Yes.
If this applicant lives at 280 Evergreen Road, no objection.
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. May I catch your first name again?
Janelle.
Janelle? Okay.
Janelle.
Janelle.
Janel.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Do we have a motion to grant party status to Janelle Ploshay?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We will start our roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
And I'm an aye. Thank you.
If I could ask you to fill out a form before you leave, because I do not have it in my stack of entries, so it will make it very difficult for us to keep track of you until we get the transcript from tonight's hearing. So please, again, if you did not fill one out, I would ask you to fill one out.
Glenn, do you mind getting a copy of that form to her? Great, thank you. She's the middle row. Yeah, we're on it. Thank you. This is some good teamwork.
Lindsay Murtha, Lindsay, M as a Mary, Urtha. I live at 111 Patton Terrace, Patton, in Pottstown, which is off of Evergreen Road, which is right across from where the site is proposed in those new townhomes. and technically I am Lower Pottsgrove. Do you need me to go into further detail? That's fine.
Mr. Campbell may have some questions for you, ma'am, but thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you don't live in Limerick Township?
technically no, I'm on the other side.
Yep.
Other side is Limerick.
Understood. And I'm trying to figure out how far away you are from the site.
Probably about 0.1 miles if you're being generous.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Probably about 0.1 miles if you're being generous. I can see the site
I
from
see
my
it.
property
I see the site.
without the building.
Do you have what would you like to tell the board about your reason to want to?
I think you guys have all heard the other obvious ones, air pollution, water contamination. Another big one for us is property value. We're really concerned this is going to crush our property value.
Okay. So I have no questions, note my objection.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to grant party status to Lindsay Martha?
Yes, ma'am.
No moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
We'll start our roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
Aye.
Michael P. Jones, Michael Jones. Yes, I do. Property address 340 Evergreen Road.
Yeah. No objection, Mr. Jones.
And then I'm also up here on behalf of 350 Evergreen Road. Evergreen Development Group is the property owner. We asked the board for the next hearing that an attorney be offered party status at the next hearing.
Mr. Campbell, he did reach out, I think, to you as well prior to the hearing and advised his attorney would enter his appearance on behalf of the LLC at the next hearing.
Does the LLC have more than one member, and if so, does the LLC have more than one member?
Yes.
Are those members husband and wife, or are they separate individuals?
There's more than husband and wife.
Then I agree that LLC needs counsel, and I don't have an objection to deferring discussion about that.
Thank you.
So I have a motion on the floor to, approve one and then defer another? Is that what?
Yes.
Okay.
So I would say the deferral is subject to an attorney entering their appearance.
Yes,
if you
of
want
course.
to.
Okay.
The board's saying that they tried to make a timely appearance in front of them.
All right. So first off, we're going to make a motion. Do I have a motion to grant party status to Michael Jones?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And we'll start our roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
Aye. And then I have another motion on the floor to grant postponement of party status to, may I have the name again of the LLC?
Evergreen Development Group.
Thank
LLC.
you. For Evergreen Development Group.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And I will start the roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
And I'm an aye. Thank you.
My name's Joanne Konchak, Joanne Konschak. And I live about 2 miles from the proposed center. My concern is the same as many have presented. I have an autoimmune disorder, and I don't know how this could be affected. Still looking at.
Can you speak into the microphone better?
Oh.
Thank you.
I don't know how an
And
autoimmune.
the board didn't hear your address, so I
Oh.
apologize if
Oh,
you
sorry.
said if they couldn't hear. If you could please repeat
Yeah, I'm
your
a Limerick-
address and your municipality.
Limerick resident, 128 Benner Road, Benner, which is about 2 miles from the proposed development. I'm extremely concerned about the safety of my family and my neighbors. We have pets, chickens, wildlife. There's a farm next door. There's farms closer. And I'm concerned that the data center will create excessive noise, air and light pollution, as well as something I just discovered, this heat island effect. So temperature, raising of the temperature. I'm concerned about the Saratoga Center. I visit the elderly, some friends that live very close to this proposed center, and I'm concerned about future health problems, stressing our water. I have a well, as do all my neighbors, the electrical supply, and increasing costs to our community, and endangering people, pets, my neighbors' farm animals, vegetation, and wildlife ecosystems, specifically along Possum Hollow Run, which apparently runs through this proposed center a few times. I think that's all for now.
No questions, no my objection. I think the summary of her issues are consistent with what the general public would experience, and on that, and that basis in the distance, no my objection.
Your objections noted for the record.
One question. I didn't catch your address. Sorry.
128 Benner Road in Limerick.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Joanne Konchak? Thank you. I have no motion on the table.
So moved.
Oh, so I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, we'll start our roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
Aye.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Magdalena Sturman. I am a Limerick resident with a Royersford address, 677 Elm Street in Royersford. My first name is Magdalena, Magdalena. Last name is Sturman, Stuehrmann.
I'm sorry, your address again? Oh.
Oh, sorry, 677 Elm Street. It is a Royersford address, but I'm a Limerick resident. Does that answer your question?
I thought you had given it and I hadn't heard it, so I apologize.
No,
Thank
that's
you.
okay. So I live a little over 4 miles away from the proposed site, but I do have a very specific medical reason that I am concerned about it. So about 3 years ago, I had I think it was a 17-pound mass removed from my ovary. I lost my ovary, my fallopian tube, and my appendix. And my specific concern with the data center is that data centers have been linked, I believe there was a case in either Washington or Oregon recently, to reproductive cancers. Not only am I concerned about the potential for my future fertility, my husband and I do want to have a child someday. I'm also concerned for my health specifically, as I've already had serious harm done to my reproductive system.
At 4 miles, note my objection.
I'm sorry, Mr. Campbell. What did you say?
I have no questions. I note that the applicant indicates that they live 4 miles remote from the site. Please note my objection to her application to be a participant.
I have a couple questions that I would like to pull an executive session to get further guidance. So at this time, I want to put a motion on the table to our board to see if anyone else feels as though we need a quick 5-minute executive session. Do we have a motion on the table? Do we have a second?
Second.
And then we'll do a roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven? Aye. Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
We will be back in a short 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you. All right, welcome back. I thank you for your patience, your courtesy, and your ability to adapt with us as we're going through this. We did have a quick executive session so that we could get legal procedure. We had a couple questions, so thank you very much. So do I have a motion to grant party status to Magdalena Sturman? All right, we have no motion. Next.
Hi, my name is Prina Zimmerman, and I am requesting party status on behalf of our household, which includes my husband, Kelvin Zimmerman. P-R-E-N-A, Zimmerman, Z-I-M-M-E-R-M-A-N. And we live at 205 Benner Road in Limerick. My husband and I both have asthma, which will significantly negatively impact by increased pollution caused by the data center. I rely heavily on my albuterol inhaler and worry that I will have to increase use daily when this data center is built. I also have many other concerns like water contamination, noise pollution, and decreased property values.
Note our objection to the distance. Note our objection to the applicant making a request on behalf of multiple members. And thank you.
Multiple members of what?
She's asking to enter for her family, which I understand, but she can ask for party status for herself. I don't think she's, and she may be able to articulate the concerns of her family, but I don't think she can.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, enter for her family.
I thought it was a household application.
Your objection's been noted.
Understood. Thank you.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to the Zimmerman household?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And we will begin our roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Nay, for the reason that Benner Road is represented.
Ms. Irwin?
Nay, for the same reason.
Dr. Walraven?
Nay.
Mr. Maroney?
Nay, Benner Road is represented.
Nay, Benner Road is represented.
Leah Sisson, Leah Sisson, L-E-A-H, last name Sisson, S-I-S-S-O-N. I am at 2009 Drake Run, which is a Royersford address, Limerick Township. It is off of Limerick Center Road. I was unable to get on to see the bird's eye view, but I believe I'm 1,200 feet from Zara Drive. Specific things to my family that I believe are different than some of the others in the room. I also have asthma. My children have asthma. I have young children who live outside, and they would stay outside if they could. In my neighborhood, we frequently experience mist from the power plant. The way that the topography is, the way that the wind blows, it will come down very frequently. For that reason, I believe that it would raise the concerns about potential air quality for my neighborhood and my family, and might have health impacts to myself and my children. I have children who depend on me financially, concerned about the cost of electricity increasing. I think everything else is pretty much the same. I'll save everyone time. I will add that it will also impact my mental and physical health if my children can't sleep at night any more than they don't sleep today. So.
Note my objection based on the representations they made. I think they're inadequate, but note my objection.
It's been noted.
All right. Do I have a motion to grant party status to Leah Sisson?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And we will start our roll call. Mrs. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
I'm an aye as well. Thank you.
Kathleen Stanford, Kathleen, Stanford, Stanford. Hi, thanks for letting me talk. I live at 112 Drawbridge Avenue, which is very close to, well, it's right off of Evergreen. I can't add anything. I don't have asthma, thank God, or any medical conditions. I am concerned. I only moved there 3 years ago, and like most people, I like to sit outside, and I'm very concerned about the humming noise and this low frequency that apparently will affect you, even though your brain is registering it, but you like just go on with your life kind of thing. And I'm just very concerned about the quality of my life. And if I'll ever be able to sell my house at a certain point, because who is going to want to live next to a data center?
You live in Lower Pottsgrove, correct?
That is correct.
And you live immediately adjacent to Lindsay Murtha, who was granted party status a few moments ago, correct?
I think that's in the same development, yes.
She also lives on the same street, right?
No, it's a different street.
Different street, but in the same development.
Same development, yes.
Okay. Note my objection. The applicant doesn't live in the residence, lives in the same development as another applicant who you granted party status, I think is represented adequately, and I don't believe that what's been articulated is unique or particularized to this particular applicant.
Okay. Do I have a motion to grant party status to Kathy Stanford? I have no motion on the table.
All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm Megan Smolsky, MEAGANSMOL.
Can you speak a little louder? We couldn't hear you up here.
My name is Megan Smolsky. Do you need me to spell that again? Megan, MEAGAN, Smolsky, SMOLSKY. I live at 80 Kurtz Road, Schwanksville, which is in Limerick Township. I'm about 2 miles from the property. My reason for seeking party status is very similar to many things that have been echoed earlier, especially Miss Arthur's. I have well water. I have concerns about contamination as well as it drying up. I have 2 young children who also spend time outside every day, as do I. We leave the windows open as much as possible. We really enjoy the nature that surrounds us. We're surrounded by trees on our property, so I have concerns with environmental impacts could increase the likelihood of fallen trees, especially coming down onto my house. We have issues with ticks already on our property. My husband was ill all of last summer with Lyme. The sound is a concern. I mentioned last week that I already hear train tracks that are many miles away. While I don't carry any formal diagnoses, I am very sensitive to lights and things like that, the sounds. And my electric bill is increasing regularly.
You live 2 miles away?
Yes.
Note my objection is to distance, and what's been articulated is not different than the generalized concerns that others have expressed.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Megan Smolsky? I have no motion. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kelly Walker, Kelly, Walker, Walker. I do. My name is Kelly. I live in at 1365 Bramblewood Court in Saratoga, which is in Lower Pottsgrove. What's unique is that I may not live in Limerick, but I am only 1.5 miles from the proposed site. And I will be affected just as much as anyone in Limerick Township by the same issues as everyone else. And my air quality, my water bill, my water clearance, sorry, can't think of the word, my electric bill, my quality of outside life will be affected as everybody else. Everything that everyone else said, I will also be affected, as will everyone in my community.
Note my objection. The applicant doesn't live in the municipality, almost 1.5 miles or so away, and by her own admission, the things she's concerned about have generalized and been expressed by others aren't any different than anyone else in the community.
No, they're the same as everyone else in the community.
Yes.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Kelly Walker? I have no motion.
Thank you.
Monica Scriver, S is in sunshine, C-H-R, Y is in yellow, V is in Victor, E-R. I do.
Monica, do you mind saying your last name again for me?
Scriver. Do you want me to spell it again?
If you don't mind, when I say it again, I don't want to mess it up on you. Yeah.
It's S as in Sam, C-H-R, Y as in yellow, V as in Victor, E-R.
Okay, thank you.
We're filing, that's his fault. He's from New York. Skydiver Scriver, think of it that way. We're filing as a household because we saw the form. If we knew we should have done it individually, we would have, and we can if you'd like. But we did submit our application to you via email, and we did file under household.
They're both here. I don't object to the household objection when both people are here.
Do you want to?
Do we have an address?
Yes. 102 Valley Creek Lane, Spring City, and we live in East Vincent Township.
You may speak. Thank you. Oh, yes. What is your name? I'm sorry. Thank you.
Kurt Scriver, C-U-R-T, same last name spelling.
Okay. And has he been sworn in?
Ready? So we have several reasons why we're asking for standing today. Our biggest concern is about the noise from the data center. The CDC warns a noise not loud enough to cause hearing damage can still cause stress, anxiety, and even heart disease when continuously exposed. And we currently live, remind me, how many miles? 4 miles from the power plant, which is approximately how many miles away we will be from the data center. And we are hearing a noise, and we have reported it since October 2025. The township manager knows about it. We have lived here for over 15 years. We've never heard this noise until October 2025. We continue to hear it. The last time we heard it was, when did she go to her? Was March, April, when did she go to Kirkland? 21st? I think it was March 21st, so we're still hearing the noise. And the manager said there's no noise. And this noise, we can hear it outside. It sounds like a loud fan. Inside, it's coming through our windows and our walls. Our sleep is interrupted. I wake up, my ears sound like somebody has just been blaring something loud against my ears. So part of our party status request is that we are already experiencing what is being described from what is coming from the data centers, from where we live. There's potential for a data center in East Vincent Township where we live. We'll only be 2 miles away from that, and we know that noise exacerbates. So it's not just going to be one noise coming at us, it's going to be 2 separate noises coming at us, and that is a huge concern for us. And noise doubles. So you don't just go from 50 decibels to 60 decibels. There's an algorithm that it makes it twice as loud. And so we are very concerned because we're being impacted by the noise now. We live within the 10-mile blast zone of Limerick Power Plant, and you may say that's everybody, but it's not. I mean, we are going to be highly impacted. We're only 4 miles from that. It already puts extreme risk for radiological emergency if it were to happen to us with the close proximity that we live. I'm concerned about the impacts the construction trucks will have because our air is already impacted. We know this through the Lung Association. 550,000 residents are in Chester County, and 12,000 children and 44,000 adults already have asthma. 32,000 Chester Countyans have COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Approximately 300 have lung cancer, and 45,000 have cardiovascular disease. Chester County consistently gets an F for particulate pollution, and we can't afford to have. Think about the vehicles that are going to be coming in around our area at 2 miles away. 4 miles away, there's going to be more construction vehicles. They're going to be putting out diesel. Both sites will have diesel generators. So we feel we're sensitive receptors, especially as we're experiencing this noise right now, that we're trying to get resolved and can't seem to get anywhere with. A new study from Cambridge University found that data centers create heat islands that raise surface temperatures by an average of 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit and up to 16.4 in extreme cases. Temperatures increases were detected up to 6.2 miles from the facilities, with effects remaining at roughly 70% intensity, even at the 4.3 mile marker. The researchers coined the phenomenon the data heat island effect, with the potential for more data center campuses at Penhurst, which is again only 2 miles from our home, and another data center only 4 miles from us. We're very concerned about what this change in temperature could mean for us. Impact to our water table. Studies indicate that high volume extraction from data centers can affect local aquifers, residential well water within a radius of 20 to 50 miles. So we're very concerned about our water tables, and because we are on well water. I appreciate you giving me time. I think that's, so I have one more. I'll end with, according to the Tulane Institute on Water Resource Law and Policy, the city of Joliet, Illinois has historically received its water from an aquifer, but recent industrial developments and the construction of data centers in the Chicago region have depleted the water source to the point where it will be gone by 2030. We love our well water. We don't want to lose it. And these are the reasons we are asking for standing in this hearing.
No, my objection. The request for standing is from an individual that lives more than 4 miles away from the site, doesn't live in the township, doesn't live in the county, and the issues raised are consistent with generalized issues of concern raised by others and reflecting concerns of the general public.
Your objections are noted for the record. Thank you, Mr. Campbell.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to the Schreiber family? We have no motion.
Okay, for the record, I object to being denied party status. I am a nearby property owner or resident who will be directly affected by this project. I believe I qualify to participate.
Thank you, ma'am.
fully, and I want the record to reflect that I am preserving my right to appeal this decision and any final action taken, including my husband, for my household. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comment.
Hi, Joanna Tenney. Joanna, Joanna, last name Tenney, Tenney. I do. Hi, like I said, my name's Joanna. I live about 3.6 miles away from the proposed site at 670 New Street in Spring City, which is an East Vincent residency. My main concerns here are, first of all, ditto everything that Monica just said. But also, my main concern is the air pollution from the diesel generators. Both my children have asthma. One qualifies as a disability. Asthma, meaning that she sees a asthma specialist every 6 months to help manage her asthma. My husband also has asthma as well. I was recently hospitalized in September of last year where they found a polyp, which I need follow-up appointments for as well. I'm downwind of the proposed site and I can hear the power plant now, and that would be added noise, pollution, and disrupt my and my family's quality of life. My family history is riddled with cancers and COPD. My mother died before the age of 58 after battling cancer 3 times. So I am at a higher risk of cancer, and a big concern for me is the air pollution's causing cancer, which I'm already predisposed to. I'm also concerned with the house value. We bought our house pre-post-COVID, so we have good rates. And yes, I can see the power plant from my house, so it's not that far.
The applicant lives 3.6 miles from the site, doesn't live in the township, doesn't live in the county, began her remarks by saying ditto to everyone else. I understand the concerns she's raised, but they're generalized and not particular to this particular applicant.
But I did then just explain.
Your objection's been noted, Mr. Campbell.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Joanne Tenney? Did I pronounce that correctly?
No.
Just try, give it.
Joanna Tenney.
Tenney,
Yeah.
thank you. Joanne Tenney. I have no motion.
Okay. So for the record, I object to being denied party status. I am hereby a resident of the East Vincent Township property owner who will be directly affected by this project. I believe I qualify to participate fully, and I want the record to reflect that I am preserving my right to appeal this decision and any final action taken on this conditional use application.
Thank you for your comment. 100%.
Good evening. My name is Cindy, C-I-N-D-Y, Ramsey, R-A-M-S-E-Y. I do. Again, my name is Cindy Ramsey. Good evening. Thank you for allowing us to be here to talk tonight. My address is 116 Pennhurst Road, Spring City, PA. I'm about 2.5 miles from this proposed data center. I'm just down the street from Pennhurst proposed data center. I'm going to go with everybody else. We're looking at air pollution number 1, and you can tell me I quote everybody else like they did, but we all know what these centers put out. We all know from the research we've done the thousands of gallons of water that it uses every day. That water gets chemicals put into it. It gets sent through their system. Those chemicals are to keep their systems clean. It gets put back into our environment. I already have city water. PA American, they just put a new system right at the top of the hill at Pennhurst. I can walk to Pennhurst Road. up to the top, and I feel like I can reach out and touch the towers. They look so close. I'm just the other side of the river from where another data center is proposed in Linfield. That's 3. I am a cancer patient. I have survived melanoma. I am surviving 8 years out from breast cancer with a left mastectomy. I now have a rare blood cancer that I am on medication for. I'm like this young lady that has to drink tons of water daily because if I become dehydrated, my blood pressure drops and I have to go to the emergency room. And it bottoms. Try 66/44. Okay? I'm not looking to be surrounded by these toxic chemical producing businesses so that they can have their money and our land, our water, our electric, and then we get to support it and pay for it. It's been proven in all the research that we've done. Come to our township meetings. You can hear us talk about the research that's been done. So I am asking for party status because not only am I going to be surrounded by data centers, I already have health issues. I don't need any more. I have a son that lives with us who's had stage 4 colon cancer and is a diabetic. And we all know that none of this is going to help any of those symptoms with us breathing the air from these diesel-producing generators, these lithium batteries that can cause fires. We're within that 10-mile evacuation zone. You know, and the fact that you're holding it to 2 miles when there's a 10-mile evacuation zone after data centers were attacked during this current war. Let's put it next to a nuclear power plant so they have something else to aim for. That's another reason to be thinking about what we're doing instead of rushing into this. Thank you for your time.
Note my objection to the distance from the site, doesn't limit the township, doesn't limit the county, generalized objections, generalized complaints.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Cindy Ramsey?
I have a question for this board before I read this, because I can tell, since you guys left and had an executive session, how many people have you actually voted status to? Let's talk about that.
I don't have a motion. Thank you.
For the record, I object to being denied party status. I am a nearby property owner and resident who will be directly affected by this project. I believe I qualify to participate fully, and I want the record to reflect that I am preserving my right to appeal this decision and any final action taken. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. And our next.
Hi, folks. Debbie Trunkwalter, DeBRA-TRUNKWALTER.
Ma'am, can you please speak up? The board's having a difficult time hearing.
I do.
We got you now.
Again, my name is Debbie Trunkwalter. I am speaking here on behalf of my household. My husband could not be here. My husband is a Hodgkin's lymphoma patient. He has had a double coronary.
Could I slow you down? Where do you live? I know you gave your address, but if you don't mind being a little more specific.
I'm sorry.
There's a big area that's out here tonight.
I'm on Laurel Way in Lower Pottsgrove. I am 2.1 miles from the proposed site. And yes, I can see it from my house. My husband is a Hodgkin's patient. He has had a double coronary artery bypass. He is a heart and lung patient at Penn. To say that it wouldn't affect him, both on a physical, emotional, and mental capacity, is ridiculous. Yes, we all have the same concerns. However, like the aforementioned person said, it's a 10-mile radius. We already have the plant next to us. And I take particular exception to the fact that people who will never live here are deciding our health, where our kids play, and to be told that I should just move. If I had the ability to do so, I still wouldn't do it because this is the town I love. That's all I had to say. And I know you're not going to approve me. But please, think about where our kids are playing. I'm a preschool teacher.
The microphone, please. I just want people to hear you on the record.
I'm a preschool teacher. I want these kids to grow up. I don't have any children on the plan. I could just pick up and leave. I don't want to. I want to see these kids grow up. I want my husband to be able to sit out in our backyard that we worked really hard for when he bought the house 25 years ago because this is where we wanted to be. I want him to be able to breathe and drink our water. That's all I wanted to say. And yes, you didn't make me sick, but you're not helping.
I don't know what that was. No objection to the application at 2 miles plus from the site, not in the township residence. And I don't believe she's articulated a basis for standing.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Mrs. Trunkwalter? I can't even read my own scribble. I was
Most
going
people
so
can't.
fast. I have no motion.
For the record, I object to being denied party status. I am a nearby property owner who will be directly affected by this project. I believe I qualify to participate fully and want the record to reflect that I am preserving my right to appeal this decision and any final action taken on this conditional use application. And please stay off your phone when people are talking.
Thank you for your comment.
My name is Nicole Clothier, 108 Patton Terrace in Lower Potts Grove. Nicoleclothier. My unique concern has to do with the electromagnetic frequencies that are emitted by data centers, and especially one that is proposed in this magnitude. The effects that it has on implanted medical devices. I have a member of my household who has an implanted defibrillator, and this can affect the defibrillator as well as those with pacemakers. The electromagnetic frequencies can disrupt data going to them, can send shocks not meant for them, and it can just be detrimental to this person's health, who I love dearly. So that is my unique reason, as well as all of the others.
You don't reside in the township, correct?
Correct.
And I believe there's somebody else on Patton. I think Ms. Murtha has already been granted status.
She does, but my reason is different than hers.
Understood. No, my objection.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Mrs. Clothier? All right, we have no motion.
For the record, I object to being denied party status. I am a nearby property owner or resident who will be directly affected by this project. I believe I qualify to participate fully, and I want the record to reflect that I am preserving my right to appeal this decision and any final action taken on this conditional use application. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Hi, my name's Marlon Lynn.
Do you mind stepping just a little closer to the microphone? Thank you.
My name is Marlon Lynn, Marlynn, Lynn. I live 3242 Sanatoga Road. It's either 600 feet or 500 feet from the site, depending on what part you measure it from. I asked to be a member of this group.
So I spoke with Ms. Lynn during the break. She lives on Sanatoga Road in close proximity to the site. No objection to her application.
Did you just say no objection? It's really hard to hear you, Ed.
I'm sorry. I spoke with her during the break. She lives on Sanatoga Road in close proximity to the site. No objection to her application.
Thank you. And ma'am, I'm going to ask you, after the board votes, depending on how they vote, can you please fill out a form if you are granted party status?
Yes, I'll be very happy to.
Thank you.
I am against the media center because of the fact of the heat that it has, the water problem, the noise, and because I've got the power plant in my backyard and the outlet stores on the other side of me. I think we're well taken care of as far as development is concerned for Limerick Township. Thank you.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Ms. Lynn?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And then we'll start the roll call vote. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
I'm on aye as well. Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Stephen Bird, Stephen Burd. I do. So I live in the Woodgate community.
Can you stand closer to the microphone?
Sorry.
And also, I don't think we have a form for you, so if you could please.
Yes. I didn't do that. I wouldn't need
Thank
to do
you.
that.
And again, just please clearly state your address because it's a little hard to hear you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I live in the Woodgate community at 739 Rivendell Lane in Sanatoga. I don't know the exact distance, but I believe I am under 2 miles as the crow flies. I wound up going to one of your posted corners, and I think I was 2.1. But these things don't commute. They don't take the scenic route to my house. When it comes down to personal effect or health problems, I'm here speaking on behalf of myself and my wife. My wife has multiple medical conditions that any kind of the pollution that you put into this area, she could very well become affected by it. But on my personal side, I've already had a heart attack. I work in construction doing welding, so my lungs have already been compromised. I've already been in the hospital, had to be on an inhaler. I've been able to get past that. But when I hear about all the things that everyone has talked about, I just learned about the thing about anyone that has heart disease. So I may not live in the township, but I bet I live closer than most of you. A few of you may be closer than me, but just because you played a game of butting one of these up against a township line, so you only got to worry about half the population to deal with, that's underhanded. How do you treat your neighbors? That reflects a lot on all of you. So even though I'm not on the right side of the township line, I'm definitely close enough to be affected and concerned by it. My wife, we're in our 50s, and like I said, she has enough problems already. And God forbid if some greedy out-of-towners want to come in, because I still have no idea what this data center brings to the community. What does it help with the community? All I see and hear is the harm that you bring for personal benefit for you and whoever you come here for. But who for here? Whose water aquifers? When I've heard about the things about you, oh, well, it's township water, not well water. Do you think that water plant was built and designed to take the flow, to take the chemicals that you're going to throw into it? Does it have the filters to even draw it out? Or are the particulates so small they'll just pass through whatever systems they have installed in there? I have a feeling your legal meeting behind things was to say, well, if someone's automatically out of the township, that's an easy, it don't matter. Well, the things that these things do don't care about township lines. They don't, it's whatever's around it. I didn't know about the explosion thing. Just talking for the country. National security. What kind of foolishness is this? You're going to throw one over by Penhurst, one here, one there. For what? Every 5 miles? Why are you here? It's clear you're not wanted. It's clear you're not bringing anything to this community. I'm sorry if I'm animated, but this is use it or lose it moment.
Note my objection. The applicant lives more than a mile away, and I don't believe the
Can you please wait until the clapping stops?
You don't believe my testimony? Excuse me?
Please, one at a time. Our stenographer is having a hard time, and so is the board, making sure that they hear what you're having to say, what he has to say, what everybody has to say. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So note my objection based on the distance that the applicant indicates they live from the site, and I do not believe that their testimony demonstrates the criteria needed for party status.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Mr. Byrd?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Can, please, while we're going through this, clapping and cheering, we have to have the stenographer build a solid record for this. Do I have a second?
Second.
We'll start roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
Aye.
Oh, by the way, ditto to everything everybody else said. I'm sorry, but ditto to everything that was said before me by a lot of these people that you tried to shut out.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can you please fill out a form? Again, we need your contact information. Thank you.
Alexandria Sasek, Alexandria Sasek. My address.
Ms. Sayasek, can you speak up then? Thank you.
Okay, so my address is 499 Limerick Center Road. It is a 1921 farmhouse, which is different than the other applicant on Limerick Center Road that is a newer housing development. I'm going to point that out if we're going off addresses. And then, as the crow flies, I'm about a mile. Sufficient to continue? Okay. So Greta, actually, if you want to move in on the map there.
May you speak into the microphone, please?
I was just asking to zoom in a bit. So my concerns, beyond the general environmental and health and economic, is that the sociocultural risk of this, that this will undeniably alter the character and landscape of our township without providing sufficient benefit or any claims of benefit to outweigh the significant human, environmental, and historic costs. So the sociocultural, I'm wondering about the historic preservation of one, Possum Hollow Road, which is planned to be changed. And I have concerns about that and the structures along that. So there are two 18th century farmhouses, one on Possum Hollow and one that was already bought on the corner across from the power plant. And then there's the remnants of an old schoolhouse. And then there's the Hood family crypt. The Hood family crypt. So those are the four sites in particular that I am concerned about, given this development and the plans that I've seen thus far. And security risks also, but those in particular, I have concerns that they will be addressed in a timely and thorough fashion.
Any questions, Mr. Campbell?
Sure, you actually live closer to the nuclear power plant than you will to our site, correct?
it's a mile to where the Hood Family Mansion driveway is. So it depends, I guess, on which property line you're looking at.
Well, I'm looking at Google Earth on my computer and up there, and it looks like it's about more than a mile from the site and about a half mile to 3/4 of a mile from the nuclear power plant. Is that about right?
Sounds like a mile from the site, 1.4 miles driving.
Okay, thank you. Note my objection to the applicant being granted party status given the distance to the site and the concerns she raised, in particular about historical elements or concerns that are of the general public concern, not specific to this individual.
And you're saying that what I would have to make it be coming up here as an organization instead of as an individual with bona fide concerns about this? Or are you saying that there's another reason why an individual can't bring up these concerns and be given party status?
The law requires there to be an individualized impact or effect on the applicant. Suggesting that there would be, that there are historical resources or historical elements that would be disturbed are not particularized to an individual. The town may have a concern about that. Generally, they may have a concern about that, but I don't think it grants or provides a basis for this applicant to have party status. That's our objection.
Your objection's been noted, Mr. Campbell.
All right, and for the record, I object to being denied. Objection. There you go. Sorry.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Ms. Sasek?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We'll start with roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
I'm a yes.
Carolyn Mays, K-A-R-I-L-E-N-M-A-Y-S. I live in Royersford Borough. I do. Good evening. Again, my name is Carolyn Mays. I live at 769 Main Street in Royersford Borough. This is about 4.6 miles from the properties included in the Project Laurel 750 megawatt hyperscale data center campus and high voltage substation proposal, which, if approved and constructed, would be within a few hundred feet of the nuclear power plant. Also, my home is within the 10-mile emergency planning zone, evacuation zone of the nuclear power plant operated by Constellation. We hear the monthly tests right in Royersford Borough. I live 2 blocks from Limerick Township, but I'm not here just as a general resident. I'm here because what's being proposed would directly affect my property and health and especially safety. The scale of this project would change traffic patterns, noise, lighting, and alter the character of the area I live. This affects property value, my utility prices, and also my quality of life and safety, and my fiance's safety as a volunteer firefighter. Because of that, I'm asking for party status so I can fully participate in hearing and protect my quality of life.
Given the distance from the site, given the fact that the applicant is not a resident of the town and the characterization of her request, note my objection.
My concern is specific to how this will directly affect my quality of life where I live. There's no MPC requirement based on distance to gain party status in this proceeding, and historically the courts have taken not only distance into consideration, but also impacts, considering Royersford Borough is extremely close and impacted by all public utilities of every kind and everything that happens in Limerick Township. And me personally, especially my health and safety concern.
Understood.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Ms. Mays? I have no motion.
Thank you. For the record, I object to being denied party status. I'm a nearby property owner who will be directly affected by this project. I believe I qualify to participate fully, and I want the record to reflect that I'm preserving my right to appeal this decision and any final action on this application. Thank you.
Stephen Droshak, 254 Evergreen Road, Limerick Township. Stephen, S-T-E-V-E-N, Droshak, D-R-A-U-S-C-H-A-K. I do. We're looking for party status because of our proximity to the site.
What was your address?
254 Evergreen Road. Oh, yeah.
No objection, given the close proximity to the site.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Mr. Durant? Droshak, thank you, I'm
So
sorry.
moved.
Second.
And we're going to move into our roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
Aye.
Tangerine back, 260 Evergreen Road. I do.
And again, ma'am, I don't have a form for you, so please make sure you fill.
I emailed that.
Okay, if you don't mind filling out another one, I
I'll
just want to
fill it
make
out.
sure
Yeah, that's
that
fine.
it doesn't fall through the cracks. Thank
Sure.
you.
Sure. Again, same as my neighbor Steve, who was just up, close proximity to the site. Tangerine.
Given the applicant's close proximity to the site, no objection.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Ms. Bat?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We'll start our roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
Aye.
Hello, Joshua and Aileen Mangle, 84 Church Road in Linfield.
I'm having a hard time hearing you. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Joshua and Aileen Mangle, 84 Church Road in Linfield.
And again, Mr. Mangle, we don't have a form for you, so please fill one out. Thank you.
Mangle, M-A-N-G-L-E. Joshua, J-O-S-H-U-A. Aileen, A-I-L-E-E-N. I would like to be granted party status along with my wife due to our proximity to the site and the fact that she is already a cancer survivor and just as of last week got a clean bill of health for the first time in a while. So,
Looking at Google Maps, it looks like you live more than a mile from the site. And it also looks like you live about 3/4 of a mile from the nuclear power plant, which would be closer.
I believe so.
Given the distance the applicant has from the site, note my objection.
Objection noted.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to the Mangle household?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We will start our roll call. Ms. Schuler?
Nay.
Ms. Irwin?
Nay.
Dr. Walraven?
Sorry, aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
Okay, I do have, where did he go? Oh, okay. I do have one, am I allowed to ask a question?
Yes.
Okay. I have one quick question on Church Road as opposed to Linfield and Gristmill. Close? Not close?
I'm not sure where that road is offhand.
Okay, then yes.
Sue Pengelly, or Susan, S-U-S-A-N, Pengelly, P-E-N-G-E-L-L-Y, 103 Benner Road. It's Royersford, but I'm in Limerick Township.
And again, I'm going to say it, ma'am, you didn't fill out a form, so please fill out one before you leave.
I'm sorry, I do have it here.
That's okay. Just, I want to make sure I have it.
Thank you.
Did I hear correctly, 103 Benner Road?
That's correct.
Thank you.
I do. My 70-acre farm has a state easement, Act 149 of 1988, which has the most stringent deed restrictions of the agricultural acts. It is perpetual and requires the land to be used for agriculture only. I have steers, sheep, goats, pigs, and poultry, and they live outdoors. They can't go inside for shelter. If there's particulate matter coming down, if there's noise, there's light pollution, they live outdoors. I'm concerned about the effects of infrasound and also higher frequency sound, light pollution, and the pollution from diesel or gas power generation, and also especially the supply of groundwater and the quality of the water. And I noticed that the prevailing winds often bring the steam plume from the power plant directly over our farm, so the winds would bring any pollution right our way. And when you talk about, oh, you're on well water, but we're using public water. The public water, some of it is sourced from the same aquifer that my well is. And so even though you're using public water going through pipes, my well goes straight down into that same aquifer that's drawing out the water for the data center. So I feel like I should have status because I will be impacted by the activities of this site.
Any comments or questions?
Sure, no questions. Note my objection, given the distance of the site. It's more than 2 miles.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Mrs. Pengelly? Pengelly. I have no motion.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's fine. For the record, I object to being denied party status. I'm a nearby property owner who will be directly affected by this project. I believe I qualify to participate fully, and I want the record to reflect that I am preserving my right to appeal this decision and any final action on this conditional use application. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Is Pat allowed to comment? I didn't even hear what he was. I don't know if Pat will.
My name is Fernando Molinero. I live at 1100 Gresh Drive in Pottstown. That's Lower Pottsgrove Township. Fernando, F-E-R-N-A-N-D-O. Molinaro, M-O-L-I-N-A-R-O.
Mr. Montanello, I apologize. Please fill out a form. I do not have
I
one.
emailed one in. I
You
could do a
emailed?
paper one here too.
Okay.
I live about 10,000 feet from the site. I have a wife and 2 young children. We're extremely fortunate to not have any health ailments at this time. And one of the many reasons we are against this data center is because we want to stay that way. While this data center may have the potential to be within the parameters of whatever township zoning requirements exist, I would still greatly prefer a warehouse or basically anything else besides a data center. A warehouse might add traffic or some moderate noise during peak operating hours, but it's nothing compared to the negatives that come with data centers. A warehouse doesn't hum 24/7 or tower 80 or more feet in the air or raise the temperature of an area or need water and chemicals of great scale to circulate around the clock just to stay operational. And regardless of the proposed data center's closed-loop water cooling process, it's still exponentially more water usage than a warehouse would use. I have a well, and I keep hearing that data centers will use public water, so it won't affect anything. That's ridiculous, because whether you have a well or pay for public water, we all get our water from the same source, in the ground, in the surrounding areas. I'm deeply concerned about my family's drinking water. For them to claim that an operation of this scale will not affect our water supply, volume, and quality, then they must take our community as a bunch of naive suckers. Of all the possible uses for this property, why on earth would we think it was a good idea to add something with so many negatives and potential risks and almost zero benefits to our people? A lot of the potential risks are so new and have barely had any chance to even be studied. I don't want our community here to become infamous later in the future once we figure out the hard way how horrible these data centers are to their surrounding residents. Why not put something else here that's been proven safe? If you want to build your monstrosity with tons of potential risks and danger, do it elsewhere. None of us here in this town want to be the guinea pigs to your type of industry.
Sir, not to interrupt you, but you didn't tell us your address. Just to have your address for the record.
Sure, it's 1100 Gresh Drive, Pottstown.
Thank you.
No problem.
Is the mailing address Pottstown or is it Pottstown Borough?
Mailing address Pottstown, Lower Pottsgrove Township.
Okay. So the applicant testified that they're more than 10,000 feet from the site. They don't live in the township. I understand the concerns they have, but I don't think they qualify for status.
Your objection's noted.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Mr.
Molinaro, it's okay.
Molinaro? Thank you. Molinaro.
You got it, thank you.
I don't know where this N came from. I do not have a motion. Sorry.
Thank you for giving me time, thank you.
I was already granted party status, but there's a demographic that has not been presented here. And my husband is part of that demographic. He has Alzheimer's. I did not want to embarrass him. But there are probably a ton of older people in our immediate vicinity who also have Alzheimer's and could not come, I am sure. He's only 64 when he got diagnosed. Early onset. Having a constant hum noise will bring havoc to my family and to anybody else. We have the vet hospital.
You said you were granted status, correct?
Yes, already.
You can bring this up during
So
your
I
case.
just wanted to represent those people that are not able to represent themselves.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
And again, you have party status. You will have the opportunity to cross-examine witnesses and present any of your own.
Okay.
Excuse me, I'm Dorothy Pitchelman, Pichelman. I live at 10 Presidential Drive, Limerick Township, Limerick, Pennsylvania, and I live in a senior citizen development. And I'm not sure how far it is, but I think it's just within 4 miles. It takes me 10 minutes to get to Costco. And, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I guess my concern is the community I live in. I'm 81, and there are a lot of older people in my development that have health issues. I had a heart attack about 4 years ago, and my concern is mainly what I've been hearing about the air, water, electric, pollution, the sound, the humming sound. I know that would not be good for some people in my development, but I'll keep it short, and that's pretty much what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Given, it would appear that the applicant lives more than 10,000 feet from the site, and the issues that raised are general in nature, not specific to her. Note my objection.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Dorothy Pitchelman? I have no motion.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Good evening. My name is Nikki Whitlock, and I'm actually here on behalf of State Senator Katie Muth. It's actually, my full name is Nicola, Nicola. Last name is Whitlock, Whitlock. And on here on behalf of Senator Katie Muth, Katie, Muth like truth, Muth. I'm here to see if I can request a postponement for Senator Muth's party status request. She is currently at another conditional hearing in East Whiteland Township dealing with that data center application. So she cannot be in two places at once.
Mr. Campbell, what's your position?
Well, you've extended courtesy to others who have reached out to you in advance of the hearing and asked to defer. Without a my understanding is that Senator Muth doesn't reside in or represent the township. Under those circumstances, I don't understand why we would entertain the request for Senator Muth to have party status.
If I may say so, the senator does represent residents right across the Schuylkill River in East Coventry Township. So it does impact. I know that you would like to think that all things stop at the township line, but they do not. And additionally, the senator can actually see the power plant from her house. So with this thing proposed to be 80 to 85 feet tall, I'm sure she'll see this as well if it gets approved for development.
I don't think there's a basis to, based on the testimony you've heard and the offer of proof, I don't think there's a sufficient basis to grant party status.
Well, I understand that you will all be making decisions based on distance. I would say that historical PA courts, like referred to earlier, historically PA courts take impact into account to distance.
How far does Senator Muth live from?
4.5 miles. And her office is in the borough of Royersford on Main Street.
Note my objection. There's no basis for someone who doesn't live in the town, who lives 4.5 miles away. Everything that's put on the record is everything that's been put on.
Please, the stenographer is trying to get this on formal record. The yelling out is making it very hard for her, and we need a very clean record. It's very important that we have a clean record.
Again, please be quiet so that the board can address the audience and the stenographer can take down what the attorney is saying. A lot of you have requested that or stated that you're going to appeal. You have to recognize how important a transcript is and how important it is that the stenographer captures everything that is being said. So again, please just wait a moment.
She has direct line of sight of the power plant. You can postpone it, right? For her to ask for it at your next meeting, as you granted others who could not be here for vacations. She's actually performing
Ma'am,
her
I'm
legislative
trying to
duties.
find out this historical of the people who have been granted the additional extension of time.
They
And
reached
that
out
is
ahead
what
of
I'm trying to
time.
find out, and I can't get that information if I have to be able, just give me a moment, please.
So a form was submitted either to the township or today. I don't know when. Ms. Muth did submit a form, or someone on her behalf submitted a form. I was not contacted prior to the hearing. I don't know if Mr. Campbell was contacted
No?
prior to the hearing.
And the other ones that we have granted the extension to had contacted, is that?
That is accurate.
Okay.
May I make another?
So it's before the board to make a motion to postpone the request for status for Senator Muth.
So I can't say anything else, is that the point?
I have a motion on the floor.
Got it, thank you.
And so I don't have a motion, I'm sorry.
So, I'm going to, yep, so.
Order, please.
Hold on. I was
Mr.
gonna make
Maroney?
one.
Go ahead.
So moved.
Hold on one moment. Our stenographer cannot take down what is being said. She's asking for quiet, please.
Yeah, I wanted to make a motion to postpone or delay the next meeting so she has the opportunity.
So I have a motion on the floor to delay party status request for Senator Muth. Do I have a second?
Second.
We will do a roll call. Ms. Schuler,
Nay.
Ms. Irwin,
Nay.
Dr. Walraven,
Aye.
Mr. Maroney,
Yes.
I'm a no.
Duly noted. For the record, on behalf of Senator Muth, I'm being denied party status. As a nearby property owner and a person with an office in Royersford who will be directly affected by this project, I believe she qualifies to participate fully, and I want the record to show and reflect that she is preserving her right to appeal this decision and any final action on the conditional use application.
Thank you for your comment.
Okay, thank you. I still need to address the rest of the room. Is there anybody else? I have a number of forms. that-
Yes, me, I have one in too.
Okay,
please.
thank you.
Hello, my name is Nikki Whitlock. My address is 140 Walnut Springs Lane, Pottstown, 19465. Do I need to be sworn in?
Yes.
Before you start, what, is that Lower Pottsgrove or in the borough of Pottstown?
It is neither. I live in Chester County, but I'm within the 10-mile blast zone of the Limerick power plant. I live 1/10 of a mile from one of the Limerick sirens.
So what township is that?
That is South Coventry Township. So I would like to just state again that obviously the decisions here tonight on party status are being made solely on distance, and historically PA courts have taken impact into account in addition to distance. There is no magic distance, and I intend to prove the impact into account along with distance. It impacts me negatively for my health and concern and safety, and also will impact me uniquely, I think I can say that in this room, to my legislative responsibilities to the constituents in which I serve, due to traffic, volume of calls that come into the office because of this project. And I'm here to represent everyone else that does not have a voice in Chester County, who will be impacted by the emergency services and evacuation plans that have not even been considered or even studied in regards to a data center at the foot of a nuclear power plant. Also, since I'm up here being in front of the public, I don't know the gentlemen's names who are at the table for the developer. Is that something that should be publicly disclosed?
No, it's his application. He can proceed, and he was probably hoping to call a witness tonight, and that won't be happening. So I would imagine, hazarding a guess, it's probably a witness.
To my left is Anthony Maris, who is representative and participant in the owner of the project, and to his left is Robert Barth, who is the witness that we hope to present tonight.
Just a reminder, we have a hard end at 9:30, so if we're not done, we will be picking it up again, but please proceed, ma'am.
So that is my statement.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Ms. Whitlock?
First, was there
I'm
any
sorry.
objection or comment from Mr. Campbell?
Sure. Note the objection is to the distance. Note the objection that the applicant does not live in the municipality nor in the county, and that the issues raised as a basis appear to be generalized in nature. She repeatedly spoke to the fact that she wanted to represent issues for others and issues of general concern in the community, not issues particular to her.
Yes, I did. I said that these were my legislative responsibilities impacted. That's unique to me.
Do I have a motion to grant party status to Ms. Whitlock?
What is your legislative status?
Me personally?
Well, you mentioned that you
Yes,
have a
I
legislative
am on staff with Senator
responsibility.
Katie. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over top of you.
Okay.
My role is I am Senator Katie Muth's chief of staff. I am a full-time employee in her office in Royersford. That is my legislative responsibility.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion to grant party status to Ms. Whitlock? I have no motion.
Not surprised. For the record, I object to being denied party status. I am a nearby resident in the 10-mile blast zone. I work in the evacuation zone who will be directly affected by this project. I believe I qualify to participate fully, and I want the record to reflect that I am preserving my right to appeal this decision and any final action on this conditional use application. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comment.
Is there anybody else that is here present during the hearing that wishes to make enter a timely appearance on the record or request party status? I am seeing none. Oh, go ahead, ma'am. And again, if you did not fill out a form, please do so. But you could do it after.
So my name is Kathy Wentz, Catherine Lynn Wentz. Oh, I'm sorry. Katherine I live at 38 West 5th Street in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, in the borough, but I I'm an avid bike rider, so I'm up and down Ridge Pike all the time. I actually work at Creekview Farm, which is between the airport and the Limerick Bowling Alley. What some people were saying tonight about particulates in the air, I know stuff from the power plant blows over our farm and over me, and I'm a little concerned about what people said about particulates that are coming from the data center that I'm going to also be absorbing into my skin. So, and not only that, it's going to go on to all the produce that we grow there. So I'm a little bit concerned about the quality of food we're going to be able to have for the public there.
Thank you. Mr. Campbell?
It would appear that you live at least 4 miles away from the site?
I don't know.
Okay. Would you disagree with me if I said I've just checked on Google and it appears to be about 4 miles away?
I believe you, but I'm talking about where I work. I work right in that area.
Understood. Yeah. Note my objection, given the distance that the applicant lives from the property and the issues that she's raised as a basis, I think, are inadequate to grant party status.
Your objection's noted.
Do we have a motion to grant party status to Mrs. Wins? I have no motion.
I had to try.
Thank you.
And I would also just add for the record, as we were addressing party status, and I neglected to mention the township's solicitor, not myself, but Ms. Wendy McKenna was appointed as conflict counsel to represent the township. The township does not have to intervene. It is a party by right, but they need their own attorney because I can't run a hearing and call witnesses. So Ms. McKenna will be running that end of things. So she is part of the case as well. And yes, ma'am, I believe you were granted party status.
I'm sorry to be back up again, but Kim Shank, I have one more question. If people are getting turned down for their mileage being too far, apparently what is your limit and why do we have a limit? Because things do not just stop at a line. Unless you're going to be totally encapsulating this facility with sound and all under roof where it can't travel to other people, I'd like to understand. I don't.
Okay. Distance is one criteria under the law to determine whether or not someone is entitled to party status. There are a number of other criteria. I don't believe that the township, doesn't appear to me that they have applied a strict particular distance in hearing everyone's request.
I can tell you in previous hearings, again, I'm basing it on previous hearings, it is based on who receives notice, which would be 400 feet. So it's.
So is this going to be encapsulated in some way where the sound and the particles will not?
Ma'am, you
ever-
can present that during your case, and you can ask questions of Mr.
Oh,
Campbell's
this isn't the
witnesses.
time. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to explain, I can't give you legal advice, but I can try my best to explain the procedure and help you along with that aspect of things. It seems as though we are nearing a very good point to wrap this up. As I said, the school is allowing us to stay until 9:30, being 9:21 with conditional use hearings. Typically, if you don't finish the hearing in one night, it is continued to a new date certain. So there would need to be a motion, but I'm suggesting that the date certain for this hearing to be continued would be the same night as one of our township meetings, which would be Monday, May 11th of this year. It will be here at the high school at 6:30 p.m. at the same time, place, just a Monday, not a Tuesday, based on schedules. So, Madam Chair, I would suggest a motion unless there's any other housekeeping that needs to be addressed.
I make a motion that we, yeah, okay.
There's,
Hello, my name is Jeff Beck. I live in New Hanover Township. I'm outside the township. Jeff Beck, Jeffbeck.
you're requesting party status?
Sure.
Okay, just want to clarify for the records.
So I live, sorry. Oh, sorry. So I can truly appreciate everybody's concerns, but I build and manufacture data centers. I didn't boo you. I don't know why you're booing me.
Please,
Please
we
let
are
him-
running out of time and we have to leave and we have to have a clean record. It is incredibly important that the record is clean.
So I request status because I have an opposing view. I work in these. I know how the water is treated. I know where it goes. So I have an opposing view. I can't see the towers from my house, but I don't think that's relevant either. I live and work in the area, so I'd like to have status.
What was your address? I believe you stated you are in New Hanover Township.
2413 Fairview Lane, Gilbertsville. 4 miles, give or take. I don't know. You can probably do the math over there.
We really need quiet. Mr. Campbell, do you have a position?
To be consistent, the individual, although I appreciate his position and support, doesn't sound like he has particularized interest that would justify him being a member, although I appreciate his support.
Your objections noted.
Do I have a motion to approve party status to Mr. Beck? I have no motion.
Thank you. I respect your decision.
Thank you.
At this point, I would suggest Ms. Lawson, unless there's any final housekeeping. Seeing none, I'm going to suggest Ms. Lawson continue. Oh, Mr. Campbell?
Can we identify an additional date after May 11th, just so I can coordinate witnesses?
Yes, I apologize. So the additional dates, again, it's subject to change, but I should note that conditional use hearings, when they are continued on the record, such as this, they do not need to be re-advertised. They also do not need to be reposted. So do not be surprised if we stick to this date, but you're not seeing everything start again. So the dates would be May 11th, which is a Monday. The next one is Tuesday, June 16th. The next one, because again, we suggest it may go as tonight did, which is rather lengthy, July 21st. And then finally, we have August the 18th, and the school was gracious enough to give us those dates up until school is back in session. Perhaps we won't need additional dates, but if we do, they will hopefully work with us.
So I move to continue the conditional use hearing for MCD7 LLC to Monday, May 11th at 6:30 p.m. at the Springford High School.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And then we will roll call per what we're doing. Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
Aye as well. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn the meeting, good place to stop.
Do I have a second?
So moved.
Ms. Schuler?
Aye.
Ms. Irwin?
Aye.
Dr. Walraven?
Aye.
Mr. Maroney?
Yes.
Aye. Motion adjourned. Or meeting adjourned.